Tonight on the MTN News, saddened and outraged.
Don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church.
The latest on a mass shooting at a Minnesota Catholic school. Also,
anytime that there's school violence, you just pray for those people.
We take a look at what some local schools are doing new to make sure schools stay safe. The MTN News starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 10 o'clock news.
Well, good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. Another school year and another mass shooting. Tonight, the FBI is investigating that deadly shooting at a Catholic school in Minneapolis as an act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime. It happened when a gunman opened fire during Mass at a church that is on the same grounds of the school. Police say the suspect fired dozens of rounds through church windows. 2 children aged 8 and 10 were fatally shot while they sat in the church pews. 14 children and 3 adult parishioners were also wounded but are expected to survive. City leaders say thoughts and prayers are not enough.
And when we have seen school shooting after school shooting, when we have seen churches get shot up by horrible actors, I think the impetus has to be on all of us as leaders to do a whole lot more.
The shooter was identified as 23-year-old Robin Westman, a former student at the school who had no criminal history. Investigators say Westman had posted a video manifesto that has since been taken down, but they have not said what a motive may have been. News of another mass school shooting is heartache for parents and students ready to get back into the classroom here in Montana. Tonight, Charlie Kleps is taking a look at some of the steps local schools are taking to make sure students stay safe.
In the wake of another tragedy,
it's terrible, obviously.
All eyes have been turned to Minnesota.
What those teachers and those parents and those kids must all be going through, thinking about them.
And with incidents like this happening all too often, local schools have already been taking steps to make themselves more secure.
You try and take something from the situations, you try and learn something new.
At Billings Central, Principal Nolan Trafton is in the process of upgrading these gates to better control who comes into the building.
Those will eventually be secured, and you will need to be buzzed in those gates.
And that's not the only change. Security cameras are being installed as well
to address some of the blind spots and some more security at entrances, especially our main entrance.
At Huntley Project, it's a similar story.
We have a night lock in every single classroom.
K-4 Principal Ben Lambert says every single classroom has been installed with these night locks, following approved legislation last year.
There was some fire code issues for a while there with having them. We worked our way through that.
When in place, Lambert says intruders would essentially need a battering ram to open any doors.
So we also have what's called the E3 app on every staff member's phone.
The staff at Huntley is also equipped digitally. This app can sound the alarm at any time and even allows for attendance to be taken so all kids are accounted for.
It allows us to communicate quickly and easily without having to try and use phones or intercoms and all the other things that might be in place.
Just earlier this month, Billings schools officials attended a safety summit, and some local churches participated in a safety event as well. All efforts being made statewide to avoid any disasters coming closer to home.
It's always a tough thing to see these situations happen, and then making sure that we take that and make ourselves better and be more prepared for our kids.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.
The controversy engulfing the elected body that regulates utilities in Montana is heating up, as one member of the Public Service Commission has signed a letter asking the governor to temporarily remove the commission's chair, Brad Molnar of Laurel. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Ambarian breaks down the latest turn in this ongoing issue.
Last month, Brad Molnar, president of the Montana Public Service Commission, announced to reporters that he was being investigated over allegations of unprofessional conduct. Now the commission's vice president has called for Molnar to be suspended while that investigation continues. The documents behind this came to light this week when an attorney representing Molnar posted them on social media. In a letter to Governor Greg Gianforte, PSC Vice President Jennifer Fielder said, quote, Commissioner Molnar has been using his high-level position in a multitude of ways to thwart the investigation and stop it from reaching its conclusion. She said leaders had a responsibility to prevent retaliation and harassment, and that, quote, as a result of Commissioner Molnar's own actions, it has become abundantly clear that this is not possible with his presence in the workplace. Fielder confirmed to me that she had signed a letter on behalf of the PSC's response team, which handles internal complaints. But she declined to comment further, saying the letter speaks for itself. Molnar, who has called the entire investigation improper and refused to cooperate, told me suspending him would be overturning an election and an attack on his rights.
I am definitely being treated differently than any other commissioner, and that's all the way down the line.
Molnar's attorney released a response to the governor's office, calling Fielder's request unlawful and saying, quote, her complaint fails every legal standard Montana courts have established for gubernatorial suspensions of elected officials. Throughout this process, Molnar has argued that he is being targeted for political reasons, including his opinion that the commission should be tougher on large utilities.
Everything is to silence me from talking about facts. I am fighting to talk about facts.
Fielder's letter says the request for a suspension is in no way based on Molnar's policy decisions or the original allegations, but on the need to complete the investigation without interference. I reached out to Gianforte's office to ask about the complaint. A spokesperson said, quote, the governor's office is committed to an impartial review of any complaints made, and that they've committed to due process as the matter moves forward. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
The director of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention is out of a job just weeks after being confirmed. It's not clear why Susan Maneras was removed, but her lawyer claims she was targeted because she refused to rubber stamp unscientific directives and fire dedicated public health experts. She was confirmed by the Senate less than a month ago to lead the public health agency. Well, inflation and tariffs are leaving businesses across the country filled with worry, especially small business owners like many here in Montana. To ease those concerns, the U.S. Small Business Administration met with some of those local owners in Billings today. Vanessa Willardson has more.
We use a lot of iron in our machine, and the cost of iron has really gone up.
Small businesses in Montana are ready for a change.
Shipping out of Montana and into Montana has been very challenging.
Regional Manager for the U.S. Small Business Administration, Justin Everett, is meeting with more than a dozen local business owners to discuss ways to grow their businesses and deal with challenges like costs of transportation and resources.
There was a lot of commonality here, and I saw a lot of people talking that have similar transportation issues, for example.
Everett hopes the SBA can alleviate this concern through connecting businesses with onshore resource suppliers.
We have an onshoring portal, sba.gov/onshoring, where businesses can sign up, and we've had north of 100,000 businesses sign up to where you can connect with someone.
The co-owners of Ranch House Meat Company, Tanya Flowers and Shane Flowers, are hoping challenges like shipping costs will change for the better.
We lost a multi-million-dollar account, to be honest with you, because of shipping prices in and out of Montana.
It's good to hear that there's others that are looking for ways to better it too, that they'll be able to help us out or we'll be able to help them out, hopefully to get larger loads out of here or maybe even figure out different ways to get loads out of here or into here, because we struggle with that quite a bit.
The owners are skeptical about recent tariffs, but hold on to the hope that Montana businesses will see improvements in the future.
Luckily in our industry, we don't have that as much, you know what I mean? We're able to source more regionally and whatnot. But for those folks, I get it. I feel for them.
Amid the concerns, Everett still believes that recent tariffs and using natural resources from the United States will benefit local businesses.
Yes, I think the capacity is there. I think the capacity is going to get better.
In Billings, Vanessa Willardson, MTN News.
You can can see some of the rain here. We have the camera down towards King Avenue West. Rain showers, the sprinkles around the area have been moving in and out of the area throughout the evening. Here's a look at Doppler radar right across Yellowstone County, where you can see that little push of moisture moving in. If I draw the view back just a little bit, some of these showers, we've seen a little thunder and lightning through southeastern Montana for this afternoon, and then this evening some showers from Big Timber up towards Harleton. And if I push the view back even farther, you can see where we've got this low continuing to dig more moisture up this direction. So the rotation on this, drawing in moisture, creating more showers and storms over the next few days. Details on that coming up.
Rivals turn teammates. The Hardin Lodgegrass football players are gearing up for their first game this Friday. This year marks the first season for the co-op team, which will be called the Hardin Lodgegrass Bulldogs. Our Matt Carmack talked to some of the players.
1, 2, 3, hard work. The time is 4 p.m. and as the school day wraps up, football practice begins.
This is my safe space, honestly. I get to get away here.
I'm pretty excited. I feel like I'm very confident. I'm confident in all of our ability to go out there and execute and win.
The hot August sun isn't a problem for these football players. They're practicing like their opponent is on that field.
Most of us come from the res. Most of us are around here. It's poverty, so we get to see a little bit of each other's stories.
Over the summer, the Lodgegrass and Hardin football players formed a brotherly bond with one another. But it wasn't always like that.
I was pretty happy about it, but I wasn't at the same time.
I kind of wasn't too excited at first, honestly.
But it was a necessary decision after both teams had an unsuccessful run last season.
By the time we forfeited, we only had 2 seniors and 1 junior that was able to play.
Travis Krieger, Hardin's athletic director, tells me that teaming up the Hardin Bulldogs with the Lodgegrass Indians was a decision that allowed for these star players to shine, despite the school's small size.
When we went into this, we didn't want to have a we and they. We wanted it to be us.
As the team gears up for their first game Friday, the players say they're feeling strong and ready to win this upcoming season.
Honestly, I feel pretty confident. The work we put in over the summer, the boys are dedicated.
Just be ready and watch us.
A brotherhood between these two schools, both on and off of the field.
Yeah, we're 2 communities, 2 schools, but we wanted to really show unity.
And Hardin, Matt Carmack, MTN News.